It's 12 o'clock. Welcome to Taking Stock. I'm joined by Johnny Boy. You're right, John.
What's your Who doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. It's 30th, ending towards the, one of the worst months of the year, the market's end of October. I think we've got one day left and we're Halloween. And my son there forced me to put all the decorations up for Halloween. Thing is, he goes out and about with my wife, and I'm sitting in the house and I get about 60 kids knock the door, for sweets. So I don't want to do that. Anyway, and it's been a scary month for holders, but we got lots of data out this week, actually, Don. Big data week coming up. We've got the Bank of England, the Fed. What else we got?
Housing data.
Rates, housing data out. Yes, and data on that today we'll look at, which is quite scary. But it's good as far as interest rates are concerned. I don't think the Bank of England we're going to push for any further. We've got all that from the Fed and the UK. PMIs are out as well. Lots of stuff. But we're asking this today. Here's a chance, ladies and gentlemen, to talk positively promotionally about your companies they own, because we've had a bit of a farce on the markets there with a takeover bid in Upland, which was 14 pence. The current share price was 2 pence. Turns out now the RNS came out on Friday night. Oh, no, it wasn't a real bid. It was some. So I don't understand how that happened. How did that happen? Did someone just send an email in saying, I'll offer you 14 pence? I mean, is there more depth and diligence goes into it than that? Or I don't know.
Yeah, there should be.
Yeah.
It should be. I mean, people could have lost money there. And
I think they have. Yeah.
Some people could have made money that they arguably shouldn't have.
Yeah. But in this market, it's so hard to see stocks not rising. It was just a case of sending an email into the board and say, "Yeah, I'll offer you 10 times what the share price is." It should be more complex than that, shouldn't it?
It's not great.
More investigation going on. Super Mono commented, prize for first comment of the day goes to Super Mono. I declare the Santa Rally officially open. Well, do you know what? I'm saying that my stocks don't seem to be rallying today, but look at the indices. We've got the FTSE 200 up 0.86%. 4250, nearly 1%. A smidge off that. 350 good as well. Even the AIM All share. Guys, just looking at the Ondo price there on the chart there, but that's come down a bit. But look at the indices here. You won't believe this, Johnny Boy. Look at this. It's literally now, if you put the RSI on, it's now come from oversold. It's had 2 up days. That's all it takes. Not a heck of a start for Santa Rally, Super Mono, but it's better than going down. So it bounced a little bit. So we are coming from an oversold position. And generally, when this happens, after a while, you do tend to get a little rally here. I don't know how long it'll last. Maybe it's the start of the Santa Rally, or Santa bounce. Maybe, who knows? Yeah. But I think if central banks, hold firm here, and I think they will, then maybe we'll see something. But it's hard. Talking about companies, which company do you see being a target next? Let us know if you know of a company. Any companies you hold, John? When you invest in, John, do you initially go into a company thinking, "Oh, this is going to get taken out"? I said, do you?
Yeah, I mean, it's always in the back of mind. I mean, it's not the primary reason for investing, but for example, Facilities by ADF.
Yeah,
which obviously had a bit of a tough time because of the Hollywood writers' strike. But it's sort of a leader in its field, and generally speaking, it's exposed to sort of large global trends. And there are large global groups that are involved in this sort of stuff. So yeah, it's always there that that somebody might want to buy that, who's sort of wanting to get a position in what is a very, very strong market. And, you can bet your bottom dollar there's big US players in this industry.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're a foothold over here, where there, some very good, studios, aren't they, producing all this stuff? Yeah. So it's some of the big films. Was it Barbie? And Barbie was great. All soundstage over here, wasn't it? Barbie was. But are you hoping that will happen? Obviously.
Well, no, not hoping, because often what you certainly aren't hoping for at the moment is that somebody nips in and makes a cheeky bid right now, because everything is in the doldrums.
Yeah.
It's something I was discussing with Jamie Constable. A lot of shareholders, a lot of key shareholders, starting to reject bids because they feel that they're far below the true value these companies offer over the long term. So you're giving up that growth by accepting a takeover target.
Yeah.
So I don't want my companies to be taken over. Absolutely not. I want them to grow, and I want to be part of that. So
but what if they offer like 7 times the current share price? Well, that's what happens with Upland.
If there's a massive premium, massive premium, then great. But I mean, really, that's somewhat unrealistic. It doesn't happen very often. But yeah, I mean, in the back of one's mind, if something has the qualities that make it a takeover target, then that there are also qualities that make it a good investment.
Yeah. Okay. A couple more comments here. Gregory, Destiny Pharma been tipped from the Midas share tips column. Yeah, I saw that. There's a talk of fundraising on the cards, maybe at a premium. Who's talking of that? Unless they announce it. It's rubbish, isn't it? Always rumours trying to derank stocks. Yeah, rubbish. They said they got cash until mid 2024 or beyond that, wasn't it? So I mean, I'd assume they're going to get a landed deal before that on XF73. BVXP, solid results, fantastic metrics, and a potential blockbuster Alzheimer's test in development, and a workplace pollution blood test looking promising. So about acquisitions, it's far more in my mind that a company might go private for peanuts. In this market, they may go private, some of them, because that's what it is.
Yeah, Bioventix, the really nice company there. I mean, the shares were down today. Dividend was well up. The numbers look good, as viewers suggest. There's some really good stuff in the pipeline. Not least that Alzheimer's test, and the sort of dietary blood test is obviously. Yeah, it's an odd
broken
one.
The trend channel there. So you literally you see here, wedge higher lows. It's going higher lows, and that's broken the lower range here. So it's back down there. So okay.
I mean, it's a great company, and actually when it's sort of falling, when you've had a fall like that, then that could be a buying opportunity. It's in that picks and shovel area of healthcare that I like.
Okay.
Yeah, it works with all the big testing equipment companies, OEMs. Because the antibodies it provides are kind of best in the industry.
Yeah, revenue. Look at their margins must be excellent. Look at that, revenue up 12.82.
Yeah,
and the profit before tax is 10. What? Why is that then? Hang on, is that right?
Cash is down. Yeah. Cash is down a little bit, but they're investing in R&D as well, despite delivering very 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 steady profit growth, which is expected to continue. So. Yeah, funny one that fall today, but I suspect holders will be topping up.
Yeah. Because a lot of companies been taken out recently. I sort of on the market was taken out recently, and that for a long time people said that's undervalued, and I thought it was undervalued, and it was taken out. So that's it. Let's look at some of the. I not to run, but I honestly think, like I said before, one of my shares I hold, I think a good energy. I think they'll get taken out because it's got a ton of cash. It's growing margins and it's expanding in our areas, and it's in a very good hot growing sector. Anyway, most read today, in fact, and most followed. It did the trifecta.
Unsurprising.
Yeah, it's people are trying to jump on that thing there. Ascential.
Yeah, big company.
They've spun out. They've sold this. Basically, they've updated investment there, but they're spinning out or selling two parts of the business, which is like digital commerce and WGSN for combined enterprise value of 1.4 billion and cash proceeds of 1.2 billion. So it's a nice rise on that there. What's the ticker there? ASCL.
ASCL.
Yeah, ASCL.
I must admit, it's not a company I know very well.
I looked at this. Why did I look at this before? Because I landed the chart there. Look at that. I landed the chart there. I didn't break that. It's gone down, and it's broken up today. So
yeah.
Okay.
Well, right. It's a big load of money coming into the group. I don't know it very well. It's I mean, it was. I think it's got a big events business, which obviously had a bit of a tough time because of COVID. So hopefully that will bounce back, and that's what the forecast suggests. That we've had a couple of years of losses. Now we're going to see some growth again.
Okay. Third most following is Helium One. Has got news out. Second most read as well. Operational update. Seems like they're quite happy initially. They've encountered helium shows whilst drilling there, but they did say they've had on Sunday they had a problem, mechanical and electrical fault, which resulted in a temporary shutdown. But they said as soon as they get back up and running, Laura said they're good to go. But
they had a technical issue a couple of weeks ago, if I remember.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. We want to sort that out. You need to sort that out. But you see there, it's literally. Well, it's almost back at IPO levels. There it is. Oh, it was actually, and then it just jumped back up a little bit today. But it's trying to recover that support level there. But it's down in a trend there. So But of course, helium. a very interesting market there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lack of helium. I think America holds most of the helium in storage somewhere, or I don't know, there's not a lot there. Anyway, it's a supply. It's in medical uses, need for kids' balloons, which of course is a priority.
Yeah, no, I've looked at helium before, and it is a sort of element that is in somewhat short supply.
Yeah.
So if they can actually overcome these technical challenges and get this right and start producing, then they're in a good spot. But a long way to go.
Yeah, I spoke to Francesco Gadin, who's the executive chairman, of course, CEO of Quantum Blockchain today. They raised 2 million. It was at a discount. They do say though that the discount dilution, will basically going to be use this money to set up software as a service sort of platform where Bitcoin miners can access in a secure way, and they have to be close to these mining rigs in North America. So they're saying that potential 2 million will generate a lot more revenue, and this will take them, they're saying, to first revenue, which is very good. 2.6 times tested in the lab. It improves Bitcoin mining by 2.6 times, which is huge. Absolutely huge. If you all got that and your competitor hasn't, their software, and you're improving your mining performance by 2.6 times, that's phenomenal. Bushveld always been there, looked around, a lot of interest in that stock because of the massive rise it had a few years back. But they've entered in a definitive agreement to acquire 26% majority in Bushveld Minerals Holdings. So them holding 100% of that mine. So let's have a look at has it bounced today though? That's the thing, because literally this has been a very depressing stock to own since that rise. And like I say, look at that coming down there. But it had a massive rise up there, and literally nothing's happening there, is it? Look at that, nothing at all. In fact, do you know what interesting chart actually, Johnny? Listen to this. This is it shouldn't be going this way. They said copper. Dr. Copper is, a barometer of world health, of economic health of the world. And like I say, it's come down here, but it's now breached that 50-year moving average, and it's off this low. If that starts to move up, there's something happening there, because of course it is move on growing sort of global growth, really. Copper, everything, isn't
but
it?
Also the looming deficit in copper.
Yeah.
So when you do start to see some kind of economic recovery, combined with the demands for copper that are going to be required for the energy transition, then there are big deficits forecast in copper. Glencore had some numbers out today. This sort of mining company. It was a production report. Their copper production was down. In fact, their production was down across the board, really, and that sort of kind of reflects what was this idea that we might be moving into deficit, and that would be supported with the price of copper.
Yeah. It's on the highs. Look there. Come down a little bit. Someone who's what's this was into Glencore think recently. Supermodel says a recovery play or potential target has to be Smith and Nephew. Trading update on Thursday will make things clearer. What are they like at the moment then? What's the chart they're looking at?
It's been a real mixed bag from Smith and Nephew. I mean, it should be right in the sweet spot of.
Look at that.
Yeah, I mean, it should be in the sweet spot of sort of demographic trends. I mean, we know what it does. It provides sort of artificial hips and knees and all that sort of stuff. And as you get an aging population, you would expect demand for its products to increase substantially. So yeah, it's really not been able to capitalize on that. It's part of the problem it's faced certainly in the last few years is that these are classed as elective procedures. So, they're not, these are not life-threatening conditions that people have. And so they're sort of deprioritized, but by health systems and, not least the NHS. And obviously that's been a real, drag on Smith and Nephew's performance.
Yeah, look at that. 20 quid a share down to 9 quid now. And since March 2020. Look at that dip though, that COVID dip. Look at that COVID dip. Wow, that's a big one. It halved in price pretty much because you realize, like you say, when you're shutting down hospitals just for emergency procedures, then that would get knocked their business. So it went from 20 quid down to literally 10 quid in a couple of sessions. Yeah. And then it's gone back down there. Yeah, that's odd. Well, that's selling up. I'll be interested to see the results on that on Thursday, actually. But see where they're at, because
it is a huge business. Well, I mean, the numbers for the year. So the 2023 forecast for a turnover up 6%, but profits up, to I mean, we're virtually trebling there. So, 868 million pre-tax.
Okay.
You know, PE of 13 in 2023, falling to 11.6 in 2024. You know, it hasn't arguably been run as well as it could have been. But you know, where something hasn't been run as well as it could have been leaves it in this sort of deep value territory where it is vulnerable to a predator. And you've got a big US competitor in this market called Stryker.
Yeah.
Whether I mean, I guess the issue you would have with a company like Smith and Nephew is because it is a big company and Stryker is a big company, and you put the two and two together, the Competition and Markets Authority might have something to say about that.
Yeah. But it's hard to run a company when you got a dodgy hip.
Right.
Cadence is one of the biggest risers. They I've checked the queuing quite a few times, but they've done this sort of MOU to sort of the funding and financing for this Mappa iron ore. Of course, it's a huge producer and was bought off. Was it who was it previously? It was Anglo American, I think, or one of those the big guys. Anyway, it's a huge. I mean, look at that. The PFS, the pre-feasibility study, post-tax net present value of 949 million. And they're going to say here the internal rate of return of 34% with an average annual life mine EBITDA of around about $235 million annually. So it's a game changer them, but they've seemed to got this sort of strategic development of financing MOU signed. So it's a big milestone. But when I read through, do you know when you get subsidiaries of wholly owned subsidiaries? Read that first paragraph there. It'll take you 4 or 5 times to read it. They've entered a memorandum of understanding with Sinoma Tianjin Cement Industry Design and Research Institute Company Limited. Why do the Chinese companies have to have, the longer the name, the more respectful it is? Sinoma Tianjin Cement Industry Design and Research Institute Company Limited, a wholly owned subsidiary of Sinoma International Engineering Company Limited.
Could be in the translation. It could be in the translation.
It's like we don't need all those words. Okay, bring the words down. So AI will help that, just to summarize that kind of stuff. But anyway, it's a significant milestone for them. So, but if you see, even with this rise today, which is about 40% up, it's still way below its previous highs. And this is the state of the market. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. And this is where we are at the moment. Because look at that rise there. It's only just gone back into. Well, if you do a trend line, I don't know if you can. Well, just about. Yeah, it's broken out a little bit. But still, it's not above this previous support here. Now resistance at 9 pence. But that's a cracking rise, cracking jump at the bottom. I doubt most people are buying down here. So most people will be underwater in that, even with today's rise, I assume. But it's nice to see they're heading in the right direction anyway there. So, that's good news. And so that's, what is it? What's the rise there? Yeah. So that's Cadence is on news. Ascential's on news. Just looked at that. Insig AI, that's quite interesting. Did you read that?
No, I didn't look at it. What's happening there?
Oh, by the way, one of the fallers is we'll look at Powerhouse and Upland. But this is quite interesting because they've launched a new product, right? And it's to announce the launch for using evidence-based analysis of more than 200 million machine-readable sentences from corporate disclosure documents. The TDI demonstrates that stakeholders and market participants require how well a company is disclosing non-financial information and how transparent it is. And they're in talks with quite a few FTSE 100 and 250 companies at CEO, CFO, and head of investor relations level. The feedback and the collaboration. So they're looking at the machine learning can go through all these documents pretty much, and analyze it and give it a score, basically. And they're in chats with the FCA, I think. But that's very interesting. I think we'll see a lot more of that going forward with AI.
Yeah, we looked at this. We looked at this company a little while back. I mean, I guess a lot of this is going to be driven by sort of regulatory standards, governance. ESG.
Yeah.
But as this company is there to support what is a very difficult process. There's a few companies doing this, but it's
do you know what's interesting? Is, the UK's what's it called? Efficiency. What's the term they use? It's been lagging for years, hasn't it? Productivity, yes. And I think because we are a service industry, pretty much 80% service industry, and a lot of it is using data, then this could overhaul. AI could overhaul our productivity. I think it will help a lot because it can do the work of many people. And this AI, machine learning sort of models and all that stuff, and they can use it in products, and so it could improve our sort of productivity. It's very interesting. Okay, just looking quickly look before we get the bit of content here. We got Insig there. Yeah, Duke Mod again. Someone just did comment there. Rob saying another company is rising, and it is close to like going bust, or struggling with. It's literally it's 250 grand. I don't understand. It seems to be a little trend at the moment. Little jumping on companies, need funding desperately. Ballers, Uplands there. I don't know, Base Resources. Powerhouse, again, a cash issue. They did have a commitment with another listed company, which is Hydrogen Utopia International, joint development of a non-recyclable plastic and waste hydrogen. Now they're saying they may not be doing that because they've got too many projects going on. And of course, it's a drain on the resources and the capital. So there we are. That's dropped 16% down there. All right. On the front page, John, what's been covered today?
What's been covered? Inspecs. Yeah, they make glasses for various brands. We've spoken about it before. Decent company building a new facility in Vietnam, which will make everything a lot more efficient. So yeah, nice little company.
Yeah. I remember them listing actually, because I don't know why I got a bit on social media talking about them. I didn't look them up, but look at that, they've had a good rise to £4, now down 77 pence. So what is it? Do they have? Let's look. 77 million market cap, trading update.
Yeah.
What are they saying there? It's revenue increased by 4.6% of 159. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a decent sized company. Forecast profits for this year. So we're looking for we're actually looking for slightly lower revenues this year, but pre-tax profits 8.5 million.
The forward visibility should be good, shouldn't it?
Hey, cheap though. 8.8 times forecast earnings.
Oh, I see.
So and obviously when this new factory's up and running, manufacturing becomes more efficient. It's in this Vietnam manufacturing hub, which we've talked about a lot, particularly companies like there's a few funds that invest out there. Vietnam Holdings we've spoken to quite a bit. So it's a good story. It's definitely falls into the looking a bit cheap category.
Yeah. Cordel put results out.
Much narrowed loss though. Narrowed loss.
Oh yeah. 66% down, or 61% reduction in loss.
Yeah.
And so whenever you look at a company that's like loss making, what you should be looking at straight away, is don't worry about top line so much. Top line growth is needed of all companies. Small companies need growth. That's what you are. You invest in companies hopefully growing. So top line is good. The loss making. What's the cash? So
what is the cash? There's a reasonable amount of cash, I think. 2.7 million cash and trade receivables.
Cash and equivalents of 1.28 there. Okay.
And a few trade receivables to come in as well.
Yeah.
But that's again a very manageable figure given the company is motoring towards profitability.
Yeah.
Big contract of Amtrak underpinning all that.
Yeah, look at that. So you can see they dipped down to that level before previously. And it's at that level now. But it needs a bit of upward momentum there in the alert. 9 pence on alert on IU. That's another company. I think it's taking that actually. Another one I hold. It's been a bit of a nightmare there recently. It's very liquid. Intelligent Ultrasound. That's a good price there. They're going to be profitable. They got 3 AI products that are used, massive commercially, and their revenues growing very nicely. And in fact, the AI products can go from almost nothing 2 years ago to about 12.5 million in 2 years' time. So it's doubling. So the revenue on that is very good. Okay, what else on the front page there?
Bioventix, which we've talked about already. What else have we got?
Northern Bay.
Northern Bay, it's a curious company. I thought I'd have a look at it because there's a tender offer happening. So the company's buying back about 3 million quid worth of shares. And the reason for that really is because its chairman is getting out of the business. So this has been a big overhang for the share price. It's a construction company to all intents and purposes, which is why I thought the numbers look very decent when you consider that and we've talked about PMIs, but when you look at what's happening in the economy and difficulties in construction, these numbers are ahead of forecasts. And that's a particularly impressive performance to do that. Net debt sort of year on year is reduced. There is a bit of seasonality in there, and this tender offer is going to, perhaps make the capital structure a little bit more efficient and so reduces overhang, improves liquidity a little bit.
Yeah. Well, they said that the group's forward order book remains strong and should support trading performances in the coming months, subject to ongoing uncertainties in the macroeconomic climate in which the group operates. Everyone, the macroeconomic climate is annoying. Come on. Michael Taylor chart. It's a short-term BVXP. Cadence rise up by 1/3 of NPV. I know mine for 4 million. Now with Chinese belt and road back in. It's a deal. It's a steal. Sale of the century. John, that's a good sell. It's a deal. It's a steal. It's sale of the century. Okay. So so that's on KDNC, by the way. The house builders are looking bullish. I wouldn't be surprised to see if M&A action in this sector. Good point, actually. There is going forward. If you're looking at a couple of years, top price of Sinji. Yeah,
we've seen a little bit of M&A in house building. I can't remember which one got taken out. Can't remember which one it was, but the smaller players are the ones that are looking vulnerable to being taken over there.
Yeah, I suppose they're a good land bank and all that stuff. And
or you might sort of get regional infill acquisitions, that sort of thing.
Yeah, nice. I like that term, regional infill acquisitions.
Well, that's exactly what we saw with God. Who was it the other day? I can't remember. Doesn't matter. I've forgotten.
Rob again. Rob's on the spot for these potentially insolvent companies. He said top rise at CNG. It's a 316 million of debt and only 5 million of cash. 4.5 million market cap. It is crazy.
That's not a takeover target.
No,
it was Van El by the way. That I was thinking of. They bought that division out of Galliford Try. To give us London, southeast London and southeast foothold.
So CGO Contango Holdings possible takeover target. Why? Stan's Outdoor Adventures. Why Stan? Stan's. Tell me why, John. What do you think that is? McCarthy Stone got taken over. Mr. Steve. Is that the one? Michael says, I'm liking Justin's shirt. What's the brand? He wants a takeover target. My shirt's a takeover target. I think it's next. I'm trying to get brands on them. Oh yeah, it's next, isn't it? I think it's next. I think we've got one for every day of the week, pretty much. So swap around. Anything else on the front page, Johnny boy?
That's about it. Oh no, I tell a lie. We spoke to Adsure. Kevin Lim.
I saw that earlier. Yeah, Adsure.
Newly listed today.
There he is.
It's a provider of sort of business assurance services to the large, mostly to the not in fact almost entirely to the not-for-profit sector. So essentially they're doing things like internal audit. I mean, it all sounds rather unexciting, but it is actually very, very important. Making sure that public sector not-for-profit organisations are run as they should be. We've heard lots going on sort of in the public sector. You're hearing lots about sort of councils, mismanaging their finances, going bust, that sort of thing. And what Adsure does is basically stop that happening. It comes into councils, make sure that they're being run, as they should be. Does a lot of other sort of advisory services as well around, various risks that all businesses face, but the public sector too, things like cyber risks, that sort of stuff.
Really.
I mean, it's not an accountancy firm, but it does compete with accountancy firms, but it's much more specialist, and it's a rare thing to see on the markets actually.
Yeah, look at that. I don't know what's happening in intelligent ultrasound here, but it's down like 10% a day. I mean, it's very liquid, so you get a couple of
big seller
sales will take it down, but look at the average daily volume there. It's 73,000. So it's nothing. It's on 47 today, so it's not a huge amount of volume going through it. But that is a good profitable company with cash. That and in AI with 3 commercial products. It's worth a look at. Do your research, ladies and gentlemen. I released a video on that actually previously, but I quite like that. Okay, anything else? Glencore, 8 Energy, Project Phoenix.
8 Energy. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything up with Gildy Sports to raise a bit of money? What else there? That's it, really, isn't it? I think we covered it all.
Yeah,
John,
carry on.
what are we? Oh, in fact, let's just quickly look at this. Is very telling here. Some macro data, which is very interesting. I think. And I've nicked this screenshot off Built Place, but this is UK mortgage approvals fall the lowest since January. Look at this number of approvals for housing purchases. Right, down annually 32.5%. Number of approvals for remortgaging down annually 57.9%. That you can see now it's biting, can't you? The interest rates are biting people there.
That's curious, because you would think that people remortgage when they have to remortgage.
Yeah.
You go onto a new deal when your current deal ends. So does this mean banks are rejecting people moving on to new deals?
Well, I suppose a lot of people do remortgage as well to get things done, don't they? They sometimes remortgage their houses to do some improvements.
So releasing a bit of equity.
So maybe obviously you don't want to release equity when they're charging you 6-7% or whatever it's going to be, or 5-6-7%. So they're saying, "Oh, wait until it comes down maybe next year." But that means if it does come down, it's quite telling. But that is one of the factors the Bank of England will be looking at, saying, "Okay," because we've discussed before. A massive knock-on when you suppress the housing market, the amount of subsidiary industries that play off that, the support will be supported by that industry. It's huge, massive, and like I said, all the tradesmen, all those people, everyone gets knocked. And also a further bit of negative is positive news. Britain's job market is showing more signs of cooling, with online vacancies and payoffs falling, according to data from Adsure. And so the online job outlets fell by 1.6% in September from August, bucking the usual end of summer bounce. Normally it goes up. It's actually gone down. And so not only, and that's the thing, the wages issue was a problem, wasn't it? They were scared, wages going up would become embedded, and so inflation become embedded. But now you're saying because the people are not taking people on, they're laying people off if they can, and of course you're not going to get a bigger pay rise if they're not taking people on. They will get rid of people. So there's that sort of slacking in the job market, which should be good as far as the Bank of England data and inflation is concerned. So there we are. But let's look at any more comments there. Contango Holdings potential asset sale. The company has received a non-binding proposal for the potential acquisition of assets. Oh yeah, we did cover that I think last week before, which may result in the sale of assets at the subsidiary. What's your view of private equity, given news from Chrysalis today? 1.6% drop in the quarter to 134.6. I don't know. Private equity? I don't know what they.
Private equity. I haven't looked at that. But no, I've looked at the investment. I mean, the way you generally play private equity as a retail investor is through investment trusts. And private equity investment trusts are trading at very large discounts. Well, they certainly have been to the value of their stated assets. Generally on the belief that those assets values are overstated. But I'm not sure that's the case. I actually think a lot of the better private equity managers are very prudent, have very prudently reported their assets. I haven't looked at Chrysalis specifically. I can't remember what it actually.
Well, that's the chart of Chrysalis. Like all investments, sort of that literally you can see from a trend there. Even if you look at the 200 moving average, it hasn't touched it since January 2022.
Yeah,
and that's like the market, the AIM market, we're 2 years into a downtrend now. But and even here, it's in fact it did hit 50 pence here. Now it's at 55. So maybe hopefully it's a higher low if it doesn't go back down to that. But there's nowhere near the start of that trend here. Let's it tried to rally here. It's come back again.
Just having a look. Chrysalis' second largest holding is Starling Bank. There's a number.
Oh, okay.
But people know as 6% of its portfolio is in Klarna. It's a very sort of tech heavy portfolio, trading at a 61% discount.
Wow.
To the stated value of its assets. And so, as I say, there's sort of mistrust towards private equity. But private equity is in a very strong position. They are still, a lot of them, sitting on lots of dry powder, lots of capital, which they can put to good use and take advantage of of cheap valuations, certainly of listed companies. You know, a lot of investment trusts invest in the listed company sector as well. You know, and the smarter ones will be fishing around for value there. And so actually, you know, when we go back to takeover targets, but you know, one of the ways of really playing the discounts in the market is through the investment trust sector, because you know, one, they're looking for value as managers. And often finding it. And I think, you know, North Atlantic smaller companies, which is run by Chris Mills, is a very good example of that. Niox is a company that's done very well out of. But secondly, they're trading at discount. So when the market recovers, you're going to get a share price rise and you're going to see the discounts narrow. So you're going to get a double performance whammy there.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? It's just one of many sort of opportunities in the market where you think it's oversold. But again, like I said, you know, it can be oversold for a long time.
It can.
The market can stay, you know, what do I say? The market can stay irrational longer than you stay liquid.
Yeah,
and that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's why you need, you know, bind up trends where you know there's definite money inflow and the share price is reacting positively to that. Otherwise, you know, people, like I said, people keep selling and selling, beget selling, and so it drives the share price down further. And then more people sell just because it's gone down, and that drives the share price down. It's a vicious circle, a vicious cycle, whatever you want to call it, cycle circle. I prefer a cycle, actually.
Yeah.
Because just nicer, aren't they? Marvelous. Any other comments there? You know, mortgage lenders starting to lower interest rates. A good sign, I think. Yes, there will be a mortgage rate fight. I think now, if we see the Bank of England pause, then of course you'll see even more mortgage offers coming in lower now, and there'll be a bit of a fight there because everybody's going over. Pause. Next, if the metrics, the economics of this economy start getting worse, and we see they are, then there's a safe bet that, you know, interest rates will come down in 2024, and of course mortgage lenders will be baking that into the pie, and say over the next 3-5 years interest rates will be down here.
Might turn for a little bit of a big up of one of my shares. A ramp.
Big up, yeah.
Big up. Go on, so just going back to some of the stock screens you ran. You know, we talked just to round off the takeover target thing again. I ran one called a book value screen. I was looking for companies that were basically cheap against the value of the assets within the business, and funny enough, today on that list pops up Angling Direct. Which
I just come up. Do you know what? I knew this. Did I say the other week? I said, look at that. I said, was it last week? I said, if it gets above this previous high here, right? Because it's starting to look good. And it's a very good example, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. You can see here, this level here was a support level, pretty much at 23 pence, and it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. And then it rallied, broke 200-day moving average. It hasn't touched that since back in October 2021. That's 2 years ago. That's a long trend. So when people say, you know, if you don't look at trends, you're trading. No, a downtrend lasts 2 years. An uptrend can last easy that amount. The business keeps improving longer.
Yeah.
So it's not day trading at all. Just make sure you're going with the money flow. You're putting your surfboard in the right way, you know, against the waves. You're going with the waves. So
there's another one. Another one pops out this list that we've talked about quite a bit.
Look at that support previous broke that, right? Broke this previous support level here, resistance support there, resistance here, then broke up, come back down onto it. Look at that. It's 32 pence, and now it's rallied. And now, John, what you get here? Look at that. If it closes here, that's the highest close since July 2022, which will seem very, very bullish.
It's marvelous.
So John put his fishing rod in. He may pull out a winner here, guys.
Chart doing wonders for me. Time Finance pops out of that list as well, which we've talked about a few times as being on a watch list. Liking the look of that. What you know, and as I said, just sort of criteria I'm looking for. You know, cheaper than book value. Time Finance is trading at 40% book value. Forecast earnings growth. Yeah, you want to see companies that are still growing, not going backwards. You want signs of quality and cheapness combined.
But
then have a look at the chart here as well. You know, as I don't, but Justin does, and you might find some winners.
I like this trend, but the trouble is, you literally the equivalent of the Angling Direct you're going about here. You know, that's where you're going. So you booked to remove it. I'm going here, higher highs, but now it needs. Like I said, we've got a thing here which had a high previously of here, roundabout. It needs to get above this. If it doesn't, it may roll over. And it may go into a sort of consolidation phase, because you can have that literally. It's like from October 2022, it's literally low there. So it's been an uptrend now for like just over a year. So it may need to have a breather and consolidate a bit. Who knows? But they come up with good figures and may go higher. Who knows? But there we are.
Indeed.
Lovely. Do you own time?
No, I've just had my eye on it. Just had my eye on it because we covered it a while back. I really like the look of what it's doing. I think it's filling a void in the sort of financing market for small business. And it just looks the numbers look good. The metrics look nice.
Yeah.
Might have a dabble after the show, as I did with Annie.
Well, if I get your fishing rod out, John, and catch another winner.
I'll tell you what's doing well for me at the moment is H&T. That's
oh, is it? Let's look at H&T.
Have a look at that chart. It's been wobbling for a while, but it's starting to fly. I don't know what's happened. I don't know what's changed. That's nothing's changed sort of in terms of the performance, and the forecast performance, which has always been very good. But again, I'm just looking at it. It's just so cheap. Nine times forecast 23 earnings.
You can see that there. Look at this support level here, right? The support level there bounced off that many times, dip below. You often get a bit of weakness, then goes up. Didn't break that downtrend, broke down. Now though, look at that. It broke that support level, the previous resistance support, and then it's back up. And now it's almost challenging previous highs.
Yeah. I don't think it's a takeover target. Only on the basis that it's got pretty solid shareholder register, and I don't think they would let it go on the cheap because it's a quality business. Okay. But again, that's don't play for the takeover, but look for the characteristics that another company might want.
Yeah, this is the last week big sell-off. A bit of a profit taking, but nevertheless, it's got up nicely from this level here. Like I said, same kind of thing here. A downward trend there. It broke that downward trend. And then broke previous resistance, and it's still above this nice sort of trend there. But I think it's because it's quite illiquid. Good, and you have a couple of sellers, and the market makers move it down. I think, are you kidding or what? Stop messing around with the share prices. It's fine. Lovely. Thank you very much, everyone. And hang on. What are your thoughts on TM1 battery recycling? Is going to be key as the EV market is growing. Should we look at that tomorrow? TM1, John, put it on your list because
technology minerals. We've looked at this a couple of times. I am interested in anything that's involved in the circular economy.
Yes.
And particularly battery metals recycling. Going to be a big area. There's another company, Neo Metals, in that space as well.
Okay, well let's look at a little chart.
We'll have a look tomorrow.
It's in fact it's bounced to the bottom here. Maybe you need to just roll around here. So that's the chart there.
Yeah.
But okay, we'll have a look at that. Marvelous, everyone. Don't forget, if you're listening right now, hit that subscribe button, and like it and share, and download the Vox Markets app. It's free of charge, okay? But it's priceless. It doesn't cost you anything, but it's worth a lot. So download that, hit that subscribe button too on our YouTube channel, and we'll speak tomorrow, same time, same place, different news. That's the market. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye.